Music is one thing that I love. We haven't had anybody on the pod yet in relation to music. So this is an awesome one because you guys have been absolutely iconic in the Melbourne DJ scene.
It was more of an accident, I would say. Coming out of high school, and I was just getting into the DJ scene as well, just doing birthdays, and I had no intention of doing it professionally.
Someone's there, they're listening, they got their own thing happening, or they know someone and they're going to refer you. Yep.
Exactly. So basically there was a bartender from there. He was having a birthday party and he's like, hey, I've got a private birthday party that I'm hosting. I don't have a DJ. Do you want a DJ? Cool. Rock up to this place. Seedy as shit, man. Like, when you...
I've got my own TFG stories.
Yeah,
man.
like, would you guys be keen to get involved? And at first we actually like, no, we're not keen to get involved. This place is just, the vibe wasn't there. We were open enough to the point where something had to happen. We needed to progress, make the night something. Then a new manager came in by the name of Jason Colbeck, and he had like a bigger vision. That's how it basically started.
The information provided is for general information and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment or financial decisions. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Scottie G Show. Today is an awesome one. Many of you would know the dynamic duo from Orkestrated. We've got Dean and Adam. Today, I've got Dean in the house. Dean.
Hello.
Welcome to the pod.
Pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure having you here. This is a good one. I'm really excited about this
Likewise.
one because music is one thing that I love. We haven't had anybody on the pod yet in relation to music.
Yep.
So this is an awesome one because you guys have been absolutely iconic in the Melbourne DJ scene. And for me personally, going out as a younger lad and seeing you in some of those clubs at hours that I just shouldn't have been there. Should have been at home, but I wasn't.
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps telling me.
So for me, it's a good one because I've got some personal
of course.
touch to this as well. But I'm really keen to unpack your story and how it all happened and what's going on now in life and the future. And yeah, really looking forward to having you on.
Cool.
So let's start with you and Adam, how you guys started off. Was it an idea? Did something happen?
It was more of an accident, I would say. So as you know, we went to Masnod College together, like yourself. And we weren't, I wouldn't say we were like good mates. We had the same friends, but we weren't solid, like we weren't just like best mates or anything like that. But because we had that relationship from high school, coming out of high school, he was studying teaching directly from coming out of high school, and my girlfriend at the time was also studying teaching. And I was just getting into the DJ scene as well, just doing birthdays, private functions, nothing exciting.
Yep.
But I always remember
having a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, it was just a bit of fun.
Yep.
And I had no intention of doing it professionally. But at that time, I was doing it on my own. And then every time people would specifically ask for hip hop, R&B and stuff like that, I wasn't really into it at the time. And I do remember Adam in year 12 rocking up to school in his Holden Chimera, just like blasting whatever it may have been, like Snoop,
Bit
Dre,
of Tupac.
everything, yeah. Everything that was banging back then, everyone was listening to. He was just like full volume driving down, what was the street called?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I don't even know. But anyway.
Kernot?
Yeah, it was Kernot Avenue.
Kernot Avenue, yep.
Yeah. So driving down Kernot Avenue.
With all the other mums and dads listening.
Yeah. So, and then obviously at the time, my girlfriend at the time was like, oh, tell me how she goes to uni with Adam. And I was like, oh, interesting, because I've got a lot of parties coming up and they're always asking for hip hop R&B. Ask him if he'd be interested in randomly just meeting up with us and working with me. And at the time, he had nothing to do with DJing or anything like that, but he was up for it. And I honestly remember, like when we first kind of got together, it was the first party we did was like a pizza shop in Carlton. I think it was like on top of a pizza shop, and he was like, "Man, I don't even know how to DJ. Like, what do I do here?" And I'm like, "Don't worry, just put the music on. I'll show you the ropes."
So what was it? Just some hired decks?
Yeah,
Just hired stuff, working it all out as you went along?
yeah. It was just as simple as that. Like it was just, it's funny because that's kind of how our whole career's gone. We don't really plan much. So
Just
that's
wing it a bit?
Yeah. So it started from there. And then eventually he started enjoying it, and we started getting more gigs. So that's how we kind of ended up together.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, very random. So from there, still wasn't serious or anything like that. But
So after that first one, did you then sort of say we could do like gigs together, or parties or whatever?
Did you enjoy that? Do you want to do it again? Yeah. Blah blah. He was like, yeah, why not? You know, the money was, I can't even remember how much we're getting paid, man. But I mean, I'm guessing it wouldn't have been too bad. It still would have been not great, but compared to, you know, I think Adam was working at a servo at that point in time, or the Bottle-O at Knox. So it would have been better than that. So I'm guessing that's why he was like, yeah, stuff it. Let's just
and a bit more fun.
Yeah, exactly. But so there from there and it was another acquaintance from Mazenod as well. He was playing cricket with at the time for Mazenod.
Yep.
Who got a managerial position at Barcode at Crown Casino. Do you remember Barcode at Crown?
Yes, I remember that.
So this guy was managing Barcode, and Adam told me to make like a mix tape. I'm pretty sure it was a tape back then. Recorded on tape. Was not a CD. So I did that. We gave it to him, and then that was our first kind of professional gig, I guess, at an actual venue.
Yeah.
And we were just playing together, DJing at Barcode, which was, for those that don't know, it's basically a bar with pinball machines and gaming machines, Daytona, billiard tables.
Yep.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a nightclub. But we're doing that for quite a while. And we just rock up on a Saturday, play some tunes. I think you're right. I think we're getting $30 an hour.
Yeah.
Splitting that. And then you know, it's like in any business, you start networking.
Sure.
You get to know people, and
someone's there, they're listening, they got their own thing happening, or they know someone and they're going to refer you.
Exactly. So basically, there was a bartender from there. He was having a birthday party at a place called 2 Floors Up. Not on a weekend, mind you. It was like a random Tuesday night. And he's like, hey, I've got a private birthday party that I'm hosting. I don't have a DJ. Do you want a DJ? Cool. Rock up to this place. Seedy is shit, man. Like,
I've got my own TFU story.
Yeah, man. Like when you're not privy to that world and you come from, you know, we're just good little Catholic schoolboy kids, that vibe, right? So when we rocked up to this joint, we're like, I don't know about this joint. But we played, and then they were basically saying, hey, we don't have DJs for the weekends. We're just starting this place up.
Yep.
Would you guys be keen to get involved? And at first, we actually like, no, we're not keen to get involved because
this place is fucked.
Yeah, the place is just, the vibe wasn't there. Little did we know the vibe was there. We just couldn't see the vision.
Yep.
In saying
and this is before it became.
Of course, yeah. So it was nothing then. It was just like almost a startup kind of bar / club that they were trying to get off the ground. Did not have any kind of aura about it. No one knew about it. But in saying that, we were like, well, we're not doing anything else. Barcode at the time, I reckon it was about that week, had basically given us the boot because they ended up getting their own like computer system that would play music all night.
Okay. I
forget the name of it, but it's still around, I'm pretty sure, that specific system. But anyway, so we started playing at TFU, sorry. And there were times when we would play, you know, it might open at 9, 10 o'clock. We'd finish at 1, the venue would close because it just wasn't feasible to stay open.
It would like be dead.
Yeah.
It'd just be quiet.
So in order to pay, security, bar staff, the rest of it. But slowly it started opening later and later, to the point where I even remember like opening at 9 p.m, closing at like 5, 6 a.m, being the only DJs.
The whole time?
The whole night, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And even then it wasn't what it was. It wasn't like the whole TFU branding then.
Yep.
But it was enough. We were open enough to the point where something had to happen. We needed to progress and make the night something. Then a new manager came in by the name of Jason Colbeck, and he had like a bigger vision.
And this is the very first one before it moved?
Yep. On Waratah Place, just off Lonsdale.
Yep.
So yeah, he had a bigger vision, and then from there he started hiring like the mainstay DJs of that time for recoveries. So like the really good DJs. And then we were it gathered momentum, and because we were kind of involved from the start, we also had our slot in there. So when it kind of started getting bigger, people were almost like, who are these guys, being me and Adam, playing with, the likes of your Boogs, Spacey Space, T-Rex, at the time it was Shardy, Nick Coleman.
And they were established?
Yeah.
And you guys were sort of what, new kids on the block?
Yeah. At some stage we have even had Dirty South rolling in and out. We had some big names, man. Andy Murphy. There's more that I've definitely forgotten. But yeah, so it was just right place, right time in that respect.
Yeah.
Like we definitely earned it in terms of starting from, doing house parties and private functions, and then slowly going to a bar and then progressing from there.
Yep.
But that's how it basically started.
Did not know that. That's awesome. So who's influencing you at this stage? Like, who are you listening to?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you sort of aspiring to?
Yep. Well, because at the start it was kind of just Adam and I when we first started the venue. For me personally, I didn't kind of have anybody that I was specifically like really into at the time. In fact, I would say that I wasn't even really into dance music so much, which is obviously odd. But because then when the transition came between like what TFU was to running a proper night with recovery and the best DJs in Melbourne, and then obviously then you get to know, you get to see what it's like for a professional to do their thing. And then that's who we kind of gravitated towards. So it was just the Melbourne boys who jumped in with us playing. I know Adam was huge on Boogs.
Yep.
Even now he's huge on Boogs. He just adores him. He would follow him everywhere. And that's who he would, and that's who he would emulate. And that's why Adam specifically, he's a great DJ all around, but he loves throwing acapellas over everything. And that's Boogs' thing as well. And he learned a lot of that from Boogs, just from going to revs and just looking at the bloke for 3-4 hours straight, mimicking what he does, trying what he would do in our sets, and then adapting that and doing his own thing over our music, to make it a bit more unique. And because you don't really get anywhere just copying other artists, but that's where it started. And for me, I was always more interested in the production side of things. And even then, I would say that I didn't have huge influences. Obviously, like you had your main acts at the time who were killing it like worldwide, like your Daft Punks, and acts like that, who were even now like they're anything Daft Punk I'm all about, right?
Yep.
But in terms of other artists, still not so much. And I think maybe that played a part in our uniqueness, because I wasn't drawn to one or the other. I was just doing my own thing. So that could be a reason one of the main factors why we created our own like unique sound, because I wasn't really copying anybody. I was just staying in my lane, doing my thing. And again, when I say, no plan, accidental, that's another one. Like, it wasn't we didn't say to ourselves, all right, we're gonna do this, and then after that we're gonna do that, and we're gonna forge our own sound. And there was none of that at all. We're just doing our thing. You know how they say, like in the sporting terminology, like just take it 1 week at a time. Basically, that's what we're doing. Yeah.
When you said Adam was banging the hip hop tunes out of the car, little story from my end. In my group of mates, whom you know a lot of them, I was the hip hop R&B head, right? And no one really wanted to go out to R&B and hip hop clubs. They all wanted to go to, dance clubs, listen to electronic and all that sort of stuff, be out all hours of the night. And I, of course, am not going to go out by myself, right? So I'd go tag along, and I didn't know a lot of the music. I didn't love it. For me, it was just to go out, meet girls, be social, have a bit of fun. So my memories of TFU are just stumbling out, daytime. What are we doing here? Walking around, trying to get something to eat. But they were the best memories. Like when we still sit down around, a campfire, like we're camping, or just, a Friday night watching the footy, and we still talk about those days because we had the best fun. It was just all about everyone being together, and it was just good vibes. Everyone was partying, enjoying. Then you guys would just throw a banger on, and everyone would just be up it's really hard to emulate that. Like, especially now I'm older, we don't go out much anymore. But like back then, it was just so much fun.
Yeah, and that's what, you miss it, right? Like you do. And that's just a part of growing up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, we grow up.
I've semi-grown up.
Yeah. I'd like to think I've grown up. My wife would probably tell me different. But I think that's what was so special about that time, because as you mentioned, like, it was a place to go, not to be seen. It was just about unity.
Yep.
It was about being comfortable, like-minded people. And we fed off that. Like, Adam and I fed off that, because you'd look up and there'd be faces in the crowd that we went to school with, our mates, our mates' mates.
Or people that were just coming every week and you got to know them.
Yeah, it was just a friendly atmosphere. And you could even go to that's the thing with it. Like, if you can go to a venue on your own and be comfortable,
yes,
then you've got something special. Because I've got a lot of mates who would rock up on their own.
Because they knew they weren't going to be alone.
Yeah, once you're in, you're not going to be alone. And there's people that they either met there, or they knew that other acquaintances would be there, maybe from the other side of town. Like, obviously you know each other, but you'll come in separately. But my point being is that you could rock up on a Saturday night on your own, and you'd have a great time, because it was like a family atmosphere there. So once you're in, you could run amok, whether it be upstairs, downstairs, in the smokers area.
It was just good vibes,
vibing to the music.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, and you're right, it's hard to replicate that now. Even not at our age, even now, clubbing is totally different.
Yeah.
It might still be fun for the kids. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's different.
Yeah, being pretty.
And COVID changed a lot of things.
100%. Well, I think COVID was the final nail in the coffin in terms of viability of having, for example, multiple nights operating on the weekends, and everyone kind of making money. Yeah. Slowly after COVID, it was like a domino effect. This club closed.
Numbers would have dropped. Alcohol sales would have dropped.
And everything went up as well. So not only was it a challenge and a kick in the nuts for businesses and DJs who were out of business for 2 years. Like, I'm pretty sure it was almost 2 years for me. I bought a pizza shop.
Yep.
In the interim, because
I
wasn't doing anything. So that's how far detached I became from my bread and butter, like, for a long time. So when that happens, and then you come back, and then on top of it, there's this tax, that tax, everything's hiked up. And it's hard enough getting people through the doors as it is. There's only one outcome. And that's what we've seen, and that's why you've only got not even a handful of clubs like roaring at the moment.
Yeah. And a lot of them don't last long.
No.
Like that's the sad thing, and you see the different names come up, and someone else gives it a shot and tries it, and it's sad. It's sad for the industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Business is tough, real tough. You talked about forging your own sound, so you're playing at TFU. Are you just playing other people's tracks, or are you now starting to sort of develop your own stuff and play with beats and do your own thing?
A bit of both. Definitely at the start, it was other people's tunes. Until I started diving into production, which just felt like the natural thing to do. But
also a new challenge too, right?
Yeah.
And be able to try to create something,
exactly.
something from scratch.
Because ultimately, that's where you want to go. You want to be playing your own music. In saying that, there's still no plans of taking over the world or anything like that. It was just more of a hobby thing. But I was like, I wonder if I can do this. And you got to remember that it was a lot harder back then than it is now as well, because I couldn't just jump on YouTube and watch a tutorial, a get started tutorial, the basics of music production. I had to buy magazines from the news agency that were, remember when you had to do that back in the day? And I'd read tutorials, for example, a lot of trial and error.
The kids listening to this don't even know what a news agency is. They've never seen one.
There you go. It just proves how old we are. But I just remember grinding, man. I remember just a lot of trial and error. I remember playing stuff that would have been, if you heard it now, it'd be rubbish. But I guess that's how you would learn back then, because and you didn't have, again, everything is just so quick now. Whereas back then, like I said, to produce, you had to really, really learn how to do it from scratch, and you didn't get there was no fast tracking. What took me maybe 6 months to accomplish could probably be potentially accomplished in a week now, because you could just watch 10 hours worth of videos. And again, I didn't have that. I didn't have anyone else that I would sit down with to show me or anything like that.
How's AI going to change this now?
Huge, man. AI
I was just thinking, as you said, it took ages. I had to do this, had to do that. Fuck, AI must be changing the industry dramatically.
I wasn't really too concerned about it. Yeah. But then recently I started playing around with some things just to see, not specifically dance music, but just to see what its capabilities are and how convincing it is. Yeah. And I've got to tell you, the results I got from prompting AI, I couldn't distinguish between commercially released radio music and what I was creating.
Wow.
It's crazy good.
So inputting a certain amount of data, and then it's going to spit out something that...
Yep. It's actually stupid good.
Yeah.
Where I guess you can either deny it or go with it and evolve with it, still put your personal touch on it. Yeah. But I think if you don't accept that it's part of the, what's the word I'm looking for? If you don't accept that it's part of
the landscape now, in terms of all industries are going to be affected in one way or another.
Yeah, not just music.
Yeah.
And again, you'll have people kind of being we do things this way and that's the way it's always been, and how AI can help, but it will never get to the point where, it'll take over what we're doing, maybe not 100% of the time, but the majority of things can be done with AI now. The majority of things, not just 10%. And like you said,
almost a start to finish.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, and this is only really scratching the surface of AI. It's 5 years ago, it wasn't really we weren't having this conversation to the point where, and this is across all the industries, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't a serious conversation of how do we utilize this in a professional way to get the best results, right? Whereas now it's gotten to the point where it's in our faces all the time, and good or bad, depending on how you use it, it's doing good things and also possibly bad things, right?
Every second scroll that I do on Instagram is someone telling me that I don't know enough about AI.
There you
And
go.
I am no good.
I
and
have
I
seen
need
that
to
as
learn.
well, man. Yeah, I know.
I keep getting told every day, it's like, you are only using ChatGPT. You are shit. You
Yeah.
have no idea. You need to enroll in this
It's
course.
giving
Fuck.
it's giving you FOMO and like AI anxiety.
Shit, I need
But
to learn more.
yeah, man. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I was stuffing around with things like music-wise with AI, like I said last week, and I'm thinking, man, like it's that good now. What's it going to be in 2 years' time, 3 years' time?
It's evolving so fast.
And it's interesting, man. I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm not going back to how I progressed and how I started and what music is and how artists individually create their own music and put their stamp on things. It's kind of a shame, right? And I get that, but I'm still interested as to where it's going to go in terms of, does it just get lumped into um, the music that's already been created by humans, in terms of like, are we going to have AI music winning ARIA awards? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to have the number one track?
So was it still someone behind the AI? Like as in
Well, it'll be prompted.
yeah,
Like
so,
you could be like, I want a pop slash R&B vibe song. You can create the lyrics, type it in there. You can hum a little bit of it. You could get someone to play a guitar riff, to base the track around that. Yeah. But ultimately, it's gonna do 90% of the job. Yeah. So I'm interested to know how, like what are the parameters of, where does it stop? Do we have our own AI genres?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like even just simple things like Nova, Fox FM, whatever. Like the top 10. You know how they play like the top 10 every night, whatever it may be. Does AI get lumped in there? You know
An
what I mean?
AI
Like,
top 10.
Yeah, I don't know, because some of the stuff I've heard, I would probably like to hear more often than that. But it's like, I don't know. Like, where does it go? I don't know. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like my brain, as you're talking, I'm like, fuck, I didn't think about it like that. Like, and he's going to just keep changing every year. It's going to become more and more advanced, music or not, just in terms of how people are using it within their businesses and, designers. Like I was talking to someone the other day, without going off topic, I was talking to someone the other day saying that they're looking at no longer using models for photo shoots for fashion.
Yeah.
They're just going to pick an AI model and start doing photo shoots. All of a sudden, the photographer
doesn't have a job.
Doesn't have the job. They're not spending hours driving to a location, putting lunch on for like they're literally selecting a location, selecting
and you're talking hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars saved.
Yeah, and you start to think about every single industry and how it can change, and massive.
Well, no, it is massive because, like I did a little deep dive into that, and for example, there's AI.
Is that because Instagram told you to?
Probably. I mean, yeah, you probably did, man. But I don't know how I stumbled across these pages of like an AI influencer. I can't remember the name, but it was like the number one AI influencer, and I think it was a girl, and she had like millions of followers.
So this is an AI generated person.
Yep.
Person doesn't exist.
No.
They're an influencer, so they've got followers.
Yep.
And she is engaged by different companies to sell products.
So the person that created this is an avatar, I don't know what you call it. The person that created the influencer monetizes that and makes a shitload of money off it. And obviously, like the content that you're seeing on the page is the AI generated like avatar in different spots in the world, or like might be a photo by the pool, they might be in front of the Eiffel Tower. They're candid day-to-day shots that any human would take.
Yes.
But it's this one. It's weird, man. And like people like that you got that many followers and it's not even real. It's crazy. And that's what I'm saying. Like I honestly think, going back to the music side of things, like I don't think we're far off from having AI artists who will, be followed just like this influencer. You're talking about like rappers, music producers. So they'll have the page. It'll have what this person looks like. And then all the music generated will be from this AI persona. And I've always said music doesn't lie, right? And what I mean by that is whenever people come up to me and are asking for advice or what do you think about this in my music, whatever, or how do I go about it? And I'm like, as long as if it sounds good, it sounds good. Like the music doesn't lie.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're making it on something cheap or something good. It might not sound as good in terms of the clarity, but if it's good, it's good. People will like it and listen to it. And I think that's the same with AI music. If it's good, I don't think the majority of people are going to care. People in the industry will care.
Yep.
And they'll throw shit on it and, be in denial about it.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's where it's headed anyway.
This podcast is proudly brought to you by Hospitality World Direct. Thinking about building or upgrading your commercial kitchen? Hospitality World Direct has you covered. From full kitchen fit-outs, cooking equipment, refrigeration, custom stainless steel benching and ventilation systems, to all your smallwares and utensils. Everything under one huge 10,000 square metre facility. Visit Hospitality World Direct at 106 Fairbank Road, Clayton South, or online at hwd.com.au. Your one-stop shop for everything hospitality.
Crazy stuff. We went off a bit of a tangent there.
That's,
it was a good chat.
That's what we do on the
Yeah,
Scottie G
it's
Show.
good.
We just have a chat. We go on all sorts of tangents,
good.
man. So going back to what we were talking about before, you're playing at TFU. Things are starting to vibe up. Like they're getting busy. You're getting known. There's a real cult following. There's people coming every single week. Mm-hmm. Are you now starting to play at different venues as well? Or are you pretty much like, I'm residency here on, say, like a Saturday night or whatever, and then were you starting to look at doing events? What happened then? How did you guys progress?
Ultimately, we were exclusive to TFU on a Saturday night anyway. Adam was more, so how it happened, how we kind of came together, Adam and I. So even though we started TFU together, then we kind of separated a little bit, still playing at the same venue, but playing different set times. And then Adam started gaining a lot of traction, getting really popular. And he was playing around quite a few venues, but I'm pretty sure on a Saturday he was still exclusive to TFU. And then I was progressing with my production, and it kind of helped that Adam was gaining a lot of popularity because I would handball my tracks to him, and then he would play them in his sets, and people would be like, what's that? What's this? And that's how I kind of like came into the picture. But it wasn't until he won the In the Mix Awards. Remember In the Mix Awards? It was basically like an industry award, Australia-wide, that would crown like the #1 DJ in Australia. And then you'd have like the #1 DJ in Victoria and things like that. And he won that, I'll get it wrong, but it was early 2000, maybe 2007, 2008. He won #1 in Victoria. So once that happened, he kind of like exploded, definitely in Melbourne and interstate. And then because I was making tunes and gaining good traction, we just thought it was a good time to just join forces.
Are you making tunes for other DJs?
No. Yeah. And I couldn't even tell you what I was making at the time. I know like there was Man-Eater remixes in there. A lot of them was like bootlegs.
Yeah.
Because they were the easiest things to make, to be honest with you, especially when you're not known and you need things to come out. If people already know a lyric, something like that, for example, a Man-Eater, Fergalicious.
Yeah.
What was it? Love Stoned, things like that.
Gets traction a lot quicker. They hear it, they know it.
And then once you become a household name, they trust you enough to accept, or they trust you enough to listen to an original for 4 or 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Whereas it's just easier, man. That's what I tell a lot of the kids as well these days. I'm like, definitely make originals, but you need to make a lot of bootlegs. Just get them out. So we started doing that, and then again, slowly started making music. And we joined forces, started getting a few more gigs together. And then I can't remember when shit hit the fan at the original 2 Falls venue, but it didn't end well. Trying to remember like what happened exactly. But when that closed, we moved to Burke Street.
Yep.
And that's when I think it was the Melbourne sound was like more mainstream at that point. Yep. So we kind of had a foothold on the city, I think, at that point, where that kind of music was being played everywhere. Whereas before that, at the original 2 Floors, it was more, if you needed to hear that sound, that's where you go.
That's where you get it, yep.
So yeah, so that's how it kind of, we kind of came together.
I love it.
Yep.
When did you do your first sort of event? So like a festival or...
It would have been summer days.
What was it?
I reckon it was summer days. Yeah, on the hill.
So what are we talking now? Late 2000s? What are we talking now?
Yeah, maybe 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
I don't know when summer days finished, but there was a good 2 or 3 years. There's a crew called the Loud Crew that were running a side stage. So you had main stage, then you had side stage. But at some points of the day, that side stage, because our sound was so popular at the time,
Had more people than the main?
well, the main, yeah, like it was just more vibey than the main.
Yeah.
So the main would hold its 10,000, 12,000, whatever it may be. But you'd have like a good 2,000 or 3,000 on this. I was kind of like on the side of the bowl. The stage was on the bottom of the hill, so the hill went up, and it was actually a really cool.
Hey, 10,000 people standing around has got nothing on 2,000 people fucking losing it.
Yeah, just losing their shit. Yeah, exactly, man. So it was just vibey. It was vibing. Yeah. So that was probably, I'm guessing anyway, that was probably the first festival.
What's better, a banging set in a club or a banging set at a festival?
Good question, man.
Like you look out and like everyone's loving it, everyone's having a great time, and you're feeding off that, and you're feeling that energy. Like what's better?
Yeah, it's a good question. I reckon it's 50-50, because you would think that a festival crowd would be better, right? But it's all about energy. Yeah. So if you're playing, like, if you get lucky and you're playing that perfect set, and from front to back, you're feeling that vibe, kind of like our party last year. Yep. I'll take that any day of the week. But in saying that, if you're in an intimate club, like 2 Floors or Tramp or wherever it may be, in a small intimate venue, and you're getting the same response, it can almost seem more intense because it's so intimate and people are kind of over you, that you kind of crave that feeling a lot as well. So I don't know, it's a tough one. It is a tough one, but obviously I would pick like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
They have to be in the same vibe though.
Yep.
Because I've played at venues where there's been a shitload of people, and if they're not all into what's happening in front of them, it's just another place. It's just a building you're playing in with people in there. Yeah.
You talked about last year's gig. Now that was meant to be the comeback final.
The last one.
The last one. And now I'm seeing selling out the fucking bowl in January, Jan 17, sold out.
Nuts.
What happened?
I don't even understand it.
What happened? So they've
what
pulled you out of retirement.
Yeah. I mean, what happened was, man, like we played the perfect set to send us off, right? And
what are you, Michael Jordan? The comeback? Coming back at 45?
Johnny Farnham's coming back all the time. But I don't know, man. Like that, the plan was to just do that set at Riva, and it ended up being perfect. It was just almost too perfect. It was like, fuck, that was a great send off, and I was happy with that, and I was content with that. But again, man, nothing's planned, right? Accidents, we just go.
You said it at the start. Your whole career with Adam was based on just fucking winging it and seeing where it goes, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked. And again, like a lot of people, even that set, for example, a lot of people were asking, because it goes for 5 hours, and a lot of people are asking, like, what's the planning process? with that. And again, we're like, man, we've never planned a set in our lives. So even for that set,
Really?
yeah, man, we've got the tracks in there. We
Yeah,
might
yeah.
have like 300 tracks in a folder, but we're not like, okay, we're playing this, then after that this.
And whatever you're feeling, you're just going to
we
roll
just
with
go.
it.
So I'll play
I love
two.
that.
Adam will jump on. I've got no idea what he's going to play. And then he'll play his two. He's got no idea what I'm going to play. And people are always amazed by that. Like even at an event, even like the music bowl, people are like, yeah, but surely you're gonna plan at the music bowl. Yeah. No, we're just gonna wing it, man, because that's what we've always done. So why would we change it?
And you're good at it, and you do your best work like that.
Yeah, and this is another thing for like aspiring DJs as well, is the fact that if you pre-plan these things, you're talking about something that can change like the snap of a finger in terms of vibe, people there. You can't plan for how people are going to respond to music. You can think you might know what sound to play or what tracks to play, but if you've planned something to the like fully planned it, and you're not going to budge from that, what happens 15 minutes into your set if you realize, oh crap, these guys aren't actually into what I'm playing now?
And that's you making a decision at the time. I need to lift this up a bit,
Yeah.
or I got to tone it down, or
so
like
that's how we've always approached things. Like that's why we don't plan, because sometimes you have to adjust really quickly.
Yep.
And then you get used to that, and that's how you become good at reading a room and playing any kind of party, because you've got that behind you. Like, yeah, cool, we can adapt to anything. But going back to the last event, so it was, we were happy to ride off into the sunset. And then a mate of ours, Danny Grant, approached us saying, basically, and long story short, if we get, I think it was 10,000 signatures, would you play at the bowl? Me thinking, that's not going to happen.
Pretty sure I heard you saying no.
Yeah, I was outright no. And then because I didn't think it was going to happen, I was like, you know what, just to entertain you, I'll say yes.
Yep.
Because it's not going to happen.
Yep.
So
you legit thought it wasn't going to happen?
No way. I didn't think it was going to happen, and neither did Adam. Honestly, like we didn't think it was going to happen. And then to get to the point where we had over 20,000 signatures before we went on sale, and then selling 13,000 tickets in 36 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it's nuts. And that's why I didn't think it would happen, is because places like that aren't reserved for people like Adam and I, if you know what I mean, like the bowl. Yep. It's notorious for, Daft Punk played their last Australian set.
What's the capacity?
I think if you're only using the main stage, it's 13,000. Yeah. And then at summer days, they used to do around 20 because they had different stages, so you can use the rest of the venue. But again, when Daft Punk played there in 2007, it was a sellout. That would have been around 13,000 because it was just the one stage. Dom Dollar sold it out last year, I'm pretty sure. But you're talking about household names here. Like it's reserved for international superstars who, if you mention their names in any country in the world, someone will know who they are, right? Whereas if you go to any country in the world and mention Orkestrated, no one's going to know who that is. And that's just, it is what it is, right? Yep. So the fact that we managed to pull that off is even more stupid in my opinion. Like,
should be very proud of that.
It's humbling. It's very, we're very proud of it, but it kind of doesn't make sense still. And maybe that was us.
But it just shows the following that you have.
Yeah, and I don't think we realised. Yeah.
Yep.
And people come up to you and you get little bits of it. Yep. And then even randomly you might get, like I got a free coffee the other day at Macca's. The guy working there, I'll take that.
Perks.
Yeah, and then I take a piss out of myself because I say to my wife, that's what happens when you're a D-grade celebrity. You get free coffees from Macca's. So yeah, man.
It was
only a small one. It was just all the A grades are reserved for the large size. But that's something else to look forward to now.
Yeah.
And after that, are we done? I would assume we are. But in saying that, like the opportunities that something like that presents.
And never say never. And you still love it. You still enjoy it. You and Adam are still enjoying it. And
that's it.
these opportunities arise. Why say, that's it, black and white,
Yeah.
no, don't talk to me ever again? Like,
Yeah, that's it, man. And I think a lot of it comes from, like, I'm trying to change my mentality around how I approach things, because I think a lot of things happen by accident, because I never plan and will myself to just focus on something and really achieve it.
Yep.
I've always kind of been the one that, I'll shield myself from disappointment, if you know what I mean, subconsciously.
Yep.
So that's something I'm trying to like adapt in myself, to not always, because when you shield yourself from disappointment, for example, you miss out on so much stuff.
Absolutely.
And if you fail, then cool, it is what it is.
We can't succeed if we don't fail. And
That's it, man.
if we set our bar too low because we don't want to get disappointed, then we're never going to achieve those things.
That's it. You're staying in a little comfort zone. And unfortunately, I don't know, because I guess I have achieved what I wanted to in life. But bit of luck, bit of hard work. Yep. But there's some people who are talented enough in any field, but they will, like they'll shield themselves from, I don't want to enter this competition, or I don't want to put myself out there, because what if I fail?
Yep.
And that philosophy has like, people have been speaking about that for a long time, getting yourself out of that comfort zone and whatever. But I think that, again, like we might have said no, even when we got that 20,000 people for the petition, because again, it will still seem like a tough ask. Like, you're talking about the Sydney Mine Music Bowl, selling that out. If I had gone back into like my old Dean traits, and protecting myself from not looking like an idiot, and possibly also losing a shitload of money, this would never have eventuated.
I mean, I don't understand the business side of the intricacies behind it, but I'm presuming there's money that has to be outlaid for promoting and booking.
Absolutely,
there's like a whole stack of business side to this. Obviously, people come to the show and they see you and they love it, but there's obviously a lot of complexity behind it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a big task.
What you can be careful what you say here, or not be careful what you say here. There's nothing's off limits here. What's the craziest story you've got from behind the decks? What's the craziest thing you've seen? Or
I honestly don't even like. I don't want to disappoint you.
Yeah.
I don't want to disappoint you, but I actually don't think anything's like crazy. Like, you would think in 20 years, something just.
No underwear getting thrown at you or something.
Really, man.
Come on, man.
I mean, I have had someone has tattooed my face on their body. That's pretty nuts.
That's fucking nuts. Come on.
That is nuts.
That's not
And
disappointing at
that
all.
wasn't behind the decks, but that's something.
But it happened.
Yeah, it happened. Actually, Adam and I, and like, that's crazy.
They send you a photo, or did they show you? Or?
They've shown me and they sent a photo. But like I feel like a stranger to them. Like, imagine if a stranger just pulled you up and were like, "Hey, look at this," and then just showed you. Like, you almost get taken aback by something like that.
But you were proud. You were like, "That's pretty."
Yeah, it's cool. And
like, not everyone can say that.
No, yeah, but it's crazy in my eyes. It's crazy, but at the same time, obviously, we mean something to that person. Generally, people that get tattoos, they get something meaningful.
Sure.
Something to look back on, to the good old days, like something that they're attached to. So that's pretty nice. But at the same time, it's pretty crazy. In terms of other things, yeah, like I've had knives put up against my throat. This isn't while I'm DJing. This is outside of a club, just talking shit with a mate. This guy walks past.
Crazy nightclub
Thought
shit.
we were
Yeah.
talking shit. Thought we were making fun of him and his mate. Before I know it, there's a knife in my throat. Thankfully, security at the venue got involved pretty quickly.
Some exciting shit can happen in the city at 4 a.m.
Nuts, man. But that was like one of the most epic things, because when they say your life kind of flashes before you, a lot of shit goes through your mind in those situations.
Absolutely.
And then the shit you don't want to see, like people ODing, close mates getting dragged down that hole that the industry presents to you. You can make a lot of wrong decisions in our industry.
How do you stay focused? Like through that, like, a lot of your party goers are on drugs. It's everywhere. You're in a nightclub. You're a DJ. Let's be honest. How do you stay focused
Yeah.
on the music? Like,
Good question, man, because evidently I realized that after being in the industry for 20 years, I reckon 90% of people don't stay focused. Because again,
you're talking about the artists, yeah, the DJs,
the DJs,
yeah.
managers, venue owners, punters.
Yeah.
It's
It almost comes with the industry.
yeah, you know, like you can say no to something only a certain amount of times before, if you've got that kind of personality, that before fuck it.
Or becomes normalized.
Yeah, because everyone around you is doing it. Sure. Whereas I learned from other people's examples, and because we were thrown into this like dark world from such a young age, I would see like people, you know, within a month, like let's just say like meth addicts, for example, you know, you're talking about people that presented in a way that was very normal, nice person, great to chat to, and then 1 month, 2 months, 3 months later, you don't even recognize that person.
Physically and the way they spoke.
Every aspect, dude. Every aspect.
Yeah.
And luckily, I don't have an addictive personality. So from the get-go, because I would learn from other people's examples, I would be like, no, I just don't want to go down that hole. You know, I don't want to, I'm just going to treat this like a business. Would I do that stuff if I was, you know, if I was working here, for example, if I was anywhere? No, I'd get fired. Or if it was my own business, I wouldn't be able to run my business.
And you knew that you were going to make your best music clear-headed 100%. As well, right? Because if you're going to be on the gear every single weekend, then it becomes the gear during the week, and then next thing you know, it's a problem. And you can't focus, you can't work properly, really. So,
no way.
Testament to you to be able to.
Yeah, but you know, it's part of the industry.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, man, like if my son, for example, was like, you know, Dad, I want to do what you do, when he was a bit older, knowing what I've seen, you know, not just what people see on the news and things like that, I'd be supportive, but I'd be very worried.
Sure.
At the same time.
Because you know the scene.
Yeah.
And the festival scene and the party scene, and
yeah,
it's a thing. But going back to what you said, my producer, she actually has my face tattooed on his back. It's a big portrait. So I also have someone. It says Scottie G Show underneath. We'll get him on the pod one day and we'll show you.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Now you've done some really cool collabs. How does a collab start? Is it do you reach out directly to another artist? Have they reached out to you? Like
generally, if you've got a good relationship with the artist already, it's much easier. I'm just trying to think if I've done one where I didn't have that relationship. I think the one that sticks out, which was kind of out there as well, was the collab we did with Joel Fletcher and Sushi Mango. That was
the Tarantella.
That was just something that I was mucking around with one day, and I got Joel involved, and I was like, you know what, man, I think like this song would just be perfect to have Sushi Mango on board, and for them to just do whatever they wanted on it.
Yeah.
And make it their own, because I don't know, it just felt right.
Yeah.
But I did not have a relationship with them, and neither did Joel. So we reached out. I think it was Joel reached out, and we just sent the track to their manager. They loved it, and then I think it was the week after we were in a studio in South Melbourne, and it was as simple as that, man. It was like, yeah, it was just as simple as that. Whereas if I'm working with an artist, like another collaborator, another music producer, they would either send me something to start with, like the skeletons of something, or vice versa. And again, like with technology these days, it's not hard, right? Whereas, you know, you can send files in an instant. You can video call. There's SoundCloud. You can upload music to SoundCloud and directly send it to an inbox. Yep. Whereas if you were doing it 20 years ago, you would have to go out, physically meet these people So if they don't live in Melbourne,
Yeah.
you're shit out of luck. You got to buy an airfare ticket.
Yeah.
Go it's crazy how they used to do things back then, and it was.
And get in front of some gear and start playing things to each other.
Whereas you can just sit in your home now and collab.
Sure.
It's crazy. Like, it's great. But yeah, I would say the Sushi Mango one was one that was just really random. But yeah, we're lucky to have worked with ARIA Award winners, Will Sparks, Joel Fletcher, Sushi Mango, some T-Rec, who I love. Yeah, there's been a lot of collabs. So yeah.
So, how you feeling about the January 17 show? How are you feeling about that?
Feeling good, man. It's the fact that it's a reality.
Yep.
It took a while to set in. Again, just because of the enormity of it all, and again, things like that aren't supposed to happen to a couple of boys from the southeast, who we've done well here.
Melbourne, born and bred.
But again, just Melbourne born and bred. We just love where we're from, right?
Yeah.
I think most people probably have that mentality. Doesn't matter what state you live in, but we just love Melbourne.
Yeah.
And that's why we kind of never, or me anyway, again, I never planned to kind of dominate the world, play interstate all the time, play overseas all the time. If that came, cool. And fortunately, it's come a few times and we got a taste of it. To be honest with you, it's not really for me, that life anyway. So I was just happy to just forge.
I didn't ask you, did you play overseas at any gigs? Like, was there?
Yeah, man.
Was there a period of time where you sort of were looking for international work?
We weren't
or you
looking.
were getting offered?
We just got offered. A random one was Argentina. We played there. I think we've flown there 13 times.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
In Buenos Aires?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're talking like big clubs, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 capacity. One of them was 10,000, which was one on the coast. But we just kept going back. They just loved us. We've also played some random places that I would never think we'd play, like South Korea, Canada.
And every crowd vibe would be different, right? Every country's got a different way they do things, or
Yep. Argentina by far was the best.
yeah, South America.
Outside of Melbourne, they just one of our tracks just took off there, and we were treated like royalty. Like that, I remember that first gig. We rocked up to the club, and we actually couldn't walk. We couldn't walk through. That many people.
That's so cool.
It was weird. And I remember saying to Adam, like, mate, I actually legitimately feel like Justin Bieber right now. Like, I actually know what it's like to be in this guy's shoes, because it was
you literally couldn't progress further until people started moving people out of the way for you.
And everyone wanted a piece of us. Everyone would like give us their phones to take selfies, and people made us like Argentina types with our names on them. It was nuts.
But tell me that, like, I know you always said, like, you stay humble in what you do, and you were very much Melbourne. People maybe in the Netherlands weren't talking about Orkestrated, but if you named a big DJ, they would know. But tell me at that moment you didn't go, this is fucking cool.
Absolutely.
I'm in South America. There's people screaming for us. They want to hear us. They know us. I can't get through. This is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, man. And 100% it is cool. But I don't know. Yeah, there's just something about like consistent life that just doesn't gel with me.
It's tiring.
It is, dude. And
away from family.
That's the big one. Yeah. I think when you're not married, when you don't have kids, you can kind of, even if you're not loving it, you can deal with it because there's nothing holding you back.
Yep.
Whereas now at our age, even if you're having fun, you're still never 100% present, if you know what I mean. Like, there's always things you have to worry about. Of course. Whether it be the kids, the wife, bills, what you know what it is, man. Adult shit.
Life,
man. And you can try and recreate that with your mates. Like we try and meet up, but it's not the same. The company's the same, and it's great, and you have a great time. Yeah. But you're not gonna randomly, for example, if you make plans, they're the plans. Whereas when you're younger, you'd make plans. All of a sudden, that plan might change because someone's had a fucking great idea. Yep. Now you're here, or you know what I mean, or you might not come back. You might not come home for a day and a half. So you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Love it. A little bit off topic here. If you could have dinner with one person, who would it be and why? Make you think now.
Yeah, good question. I'm gonna go with.
Can be anyone. Doesn't have to be music
definitely
related.
not
If
gonna
it
be-
is, it is.
It's not going to be music related. I'm going to go with Steven Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard.
Yes, and I'm sure
You're a
everyone
Liverpool
knows.
fan, or?
Yep. Love the Reds. I just admire him. I've always admired him. The way he's used to carry that team back in the day.
Yep.
His ability, his skills, his leadership, just everything about him. There's a running joke with my wife, whereas you know how people have like a celebrity pass where you can
The whole pass.
mine's Steven Gerrard. So yeah, I'd love that.
I like it. What's he doing now? Is he coaching?
I think he is. You know,
Yeah. In the Premier League?
no, he's not. But it might be. He was definitely coaching. I think he was coaching Aston Villa at one stage.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good question. Yeah, I'm shattered. I think he's got like 4 daughters.
Yeah. Right.
It's shattering, man. So I'm not going to see like the reincarnation of Stevie G anytime in my life.
Well, when you have dinner with him, you can ask him
Yeah.
where his coaching plans are.
Let's hope.
All right. One word answers. Coffee or tea?
Used to be tea, but now I've jumped on the coffee train.
It was one word answers.
Sorry, coffee. Sorry. Let's go. I'll get it right this time.
Introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
Morning or night?
Night.
City or countryside?
I'm going to go country.
As we get older, huh?
Yeah. It
Fuck
was
yeah.
city.
Yeah, it was
Now
city when
it's
we were
country.
younger. Now it's like, take me where I don't have to fucking listen to the news.
No, just nothing.
I want to get up in the morning. I want to hear some animals.
Love
No
it.
traffic.
That's it. Milk a few cows.
Hey, I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's do it one day. Pasta or souvlaki?
Souvlaki.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Beer or wine?
Beer.
Joe Rogan or Scottie G Show?
Scottie G Show.
Oh, fuck. He can come back on. He can come back on
didn't even
again.
hesitate.
Man, you didn't answer it like that. You didn't even
Yeah.
let me feel. I think I went, and you just, you
I'm off
answered.
him. I'm off Joe. He got too political. Just don't get political. He got too political. He started, he's just, I don't know, man.
No, you answered perfectly.
Thank you.
Man, this has been an awesome chat.
No pleasure, bro.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a long time since I've seen you, so
I know, right?
it was good. I even forget that the cameras are on. We just
Yeah, it's good. No,
having
so
a
did I.
chat, and I get to learn stuff that I didn't know about
Yeah,
you.
likewise.
And I have some really fond memories. So, like I said to you before, in my 20s, we'd be out and about, the boys would head out, and we just have the best memories. Many of those memories are blurry, but we have awesome memories. And you should be really proud of what you've done, and you've had a fantastic career. And I know you said that maybe some countries don't know your name, but here in Melbourne, you guys have paved the way. And there is so many DJs in the industry today that were listening to you. And when I said to you, who were you listening to and aspired to, and Adam, there were guys listening to you. And they're now playing, and they're out there doing their thing internationally as well. And you should be super fucking proud.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So, well done. Thanks
Thank
for coming on, man.
My pleasure.
Thanks again for tuning in to the Scottie G Show. I hope you enjoyed that. I had Dean here from Orkestrated. Even if Adam could be here, I only have one couch. So I think I need to work on that to improve the Scottie G Show so I can get 2 guests on. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. An absolutely fantastic Melbourne success story for the music industry, and we love what he's done and what him and Adam have done. And I've got some super fond memories, and I know some of you guys that are listening to this pod also casting your mind back to when we have some absolute epic nights. Listen to that. So if you've got tickets already to the bowl on Jan 17th,
That's it.
good luck, congratulations, because you're part of an elite few, and you're going to have an absolute epic time listening to some awesome tunes from Orkestrated. Don't forget to like and subscribe, click all those buttons, all that sort of stuff. YouTube, Insta, Apple Music, Spotify. Scottie G Show is going to be everywhere. Please don't forget to drop a line, send us some questions. If you anybody that you want to see me interview, send it through. We can make contact with them. The more momentum we get, the more epic guests like Dean I can have on the show and keep growing the channel. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next episode.